Well, the Horgan government might need the excitement of the World Cup because new polling numbers aren't painting a pretty picture when it comes to public perception of another project, the $800 million replacement for the Royal BC Museum. But while the government is bearing the brunt of the controversy, the opposition may not be benefiting that much, and the project could very well continue. Our Penny Daflos breaks it down.
By now, even the sight of the Royal BC Museum is likely to put a frown on your face.
It becomes a very easy and symbolic thing for people to wrap a lot of frustrations around and say, well, why are you spending almost $1 billion on this at a time where we're really struggling with a bunch of other priorities?
Namely record inflation, a healthcare crisis, and deferred seismic upgrades in some schools. And that frustration now has a number of sorts. A new poll by the Angus Reid Institute shows just 22% of BC respondents are supportive of the project, with 69% opposed or strongly opposed.
They famously like to say they don't pay attention to polls, but I think they know they've stepped in the glue on this one. I'll be curious to see how they extricate themselves.
The Premier acknowledges despite arguments about seismic concerns.
I very much regret that it landed with a thud.
And the controversy has likely played into his sinking approval numbers.
I think that's what they're hoping for is the summer break will let this story recede into the background.
So expect the Liberals to do everything they can to keep that from happening.
One of the dumbest capital decisions I've seen.
Despite sharing that ire, the public isn't responding all that warmly to new Liberal leader Kevin Falcon. The same poll found 44% of respondents had an unfavorable or very unfavorable opinion of him.
By and large, the public seems to be focusing their opposition on the museum itself, and the government and the Premier have only taken small hits.
The real question is whether they'll continue to feel the burn and change course, or double down on what's shaping up to be the most expensive museum in Canada.
All right, Penny, what are you reading in the tea leaves? Do you think the NDP will buckle under the public pressure?
It's still a little early to tell, but there are a few factors to think about at this moment. The NDP is no doubt hoping this blows over soon, but the Liberals run a risk here as well. If the public moves on and the Liberals stay on this, they could start to annoy people who are looking for more substance from them than opposition to just one single project, Nafisa.
All right, an election is a long ways away.
It is.